Yo, what's up? Masonic Smoker here with Masonic Smoker Podcast. Got my friend Frank Castillo and Brian Moses in the house. Frank Castillo, you want to kick this one off today?
Yeah, today's guest is one of my favorites, big brother to me. You've seen him on the Joe Rogan podcast, created the Roast Battle, super funny Comedy Store paid regular. Nice round of applause for Brian motherfucking Moses.
Hell yeah.
If you guys are paying attention, I'm being kidnapped right now.
So it's like 2012. Freddie Gibbs, Kendrick Lamar are opening up for GZA. I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is. I'm from Compton.
So what year is this?
He's about to tell us right now.
And this is Kendrick Lamar.
2010.
So that's 3 years after I graduated high school. I think I'm 22.
Yeah.
22, 23.
So I'm watching, I'm a Wu-Tang head. I only listen to, underground, I'm battle rap this, battle rap that.
At the Echoplex, yeah.
At the Echoplex, sure enough. And I went, and Freddie Gibbs is doing his the ghetto. And I'm like, that's kind of dope. I could rock with that. And then Kendrick came on, and he's talking about a Shaolin with the swords on the corner of road. And I'm like, that's kind of whack. Let me get out of here. I want to smoke a blunt. And then I came back in for GZA, and that was the first time I got to see Freddie Gibbs. None of my friends knew who he was. But one of them bought a vinyl with the national anthem on it, I think was on there. And they came back home with that gem, and he would always just play it on the YouTube. And I'm like, that guy's kind of dope, And I went down the rabbit hole, and it was a rap. And then I remember when Mad Lib picked up on him. I'm like, that can't be real. Like, that's like, that's what I've been wishing for my whole life is like some gangster shit on top of some Mad Lib type shit.
We've all been waiting for that. We were all waiting for that.
And,
it
delivered. I lived through all that. And it was to the point where I was like trying to find all the Freddie Gibbs shit on the internet, like Fucking with Fred and all those mixtapes, Cold Day in Hell and all that
you're
shit.
Deep. That's
I'm
deep,
Freddie
cuz.
Gibbs head. I wasn't
Education.
I wasn't Midwest Education though.
Okay.
There's fans that come from that. Nah, I was a little bit after that. I'm gonna be 100. I try to dive in and Midwest Malcolm. I'm like, that's a nice song, but like everything else, like Freddie Gibbs used to be fat. Right? Like I've seen pictures of him either he was fat or like he just had like a big ass shirt on.
Fatty Gibbs?
He was a big Gibbs, baby. Let's go.
Big Rabbit?
I don't think so.
I'll find that picture, baby. But now
I gotta see this.
Now
though,
he's like, he's ripped and he's like, but
Yeah.
he used to be like a little. There was a chunkier picture that I've seen of him.
I gotta see this. Yeah.
Circulated on the internet.
Okay,
Either
find
that
this.
or it's
Yeah,
because
Thicky
they used to wear some big old fucking t-shirts back in the day. But I think I seen a little extra chin hanging on that picture.
No,
for sure.
that dude was like a college athlete and then
I don't know.
in the military.
Maybe I'm tripping, and I've honestly looked for that picture again. I don't know if it was on some Nelson Mandela effect shit, but like I'm for sure it's in my brain for a reason. You know,
Facts.
what I mean?
Yeah, you wouldn't be talking about. You're like,
I know all this shit about him. I wouldn't just come up with this one.
You've seen you've seen Fat Gibbs.
Big Freddie Gibbs fan. Like I've been to 10 plus shows of his. My wife likes him. She's not even a hip hop head. My wife don't listen to hip hop. She listens to Vampire Weekend and all that nice shit. When I take her to the Gibbs show, she's like,
yeah, it's nuts, man. I just hanging out with him and being a friend of his, you get to meet all kinds of his fans, and his fans they're all over the genre. He's got metalhead fans. He's opening for the Deftones.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Speaking of open for the Deftones, I forgot who I went to go see, but Trash Talk was there.
Yeah,
and I got in that mosh pit.
Okay.
And they stopped the mosh pit because I went too crazy.
Did you?
Yeah, it was one of those days. It was like stop, and then they're like, guys, what's happening? And I just fucking did like Homer Simpson into the bushes. And they're like, he's playing too rough.
I don't know if I told this story. I saw a girl get they had a metal show. It was an underground metal show in East Side San Jose, and I watched like a Chola girl get pushed into a mosh pit because she was fighting like a metalhead. And then they ended up fighting outside, and the girl got stabbed. I don't know why I brought that.
Whoa!
Up. Yeah. It was. I was like underage.
What?
Yeah. And I remember like
you saw a murder.
Yeah. It was crazy. And because I remember
that is crazy.
Did you know?
No, I remember watching the.
And there's the snitching podcast.
Yeah.
I
didn't
can't
get a
be
good
here
look
anymore.
at her. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? You guys from Compton, you fucking cops. Look at you two. You guys look like you just literally picked these up at the airport. Like on the way to have this podcast or interrogation.
We're interrogating.
Oh, you know Freddie Gibb.
You know Freddie Gibb, right?
He was fat. I'm like,
my
I
God.
guess. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you didn't know that, but now you know that
Outta
you're saying.
here. This is so funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a major setup.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, my God, Frank. What is this podcast?
Get them, guys.
Yeah.
Get me high. You get me Fiji water. Things I love, by the way. I
Hell
love
yeah.
hydrating, and I do also. I don't mind a nice backwood.
Oh, man.
Oh, before we get too
That's
much
part
into
of the
it,
podcast as well.
do you want to plug the thing you got coming up?
It's not just the thing, Frank. This is
Not
the thing
the- like-
that made you a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
high.
birthday.
Yeah. I should have set that up a little bit better.
No, this is the next chapter in the roast battle. You know,
Yeah. I'm actually very excited.
it's a new pillar in comedy, and it's not even 10 years old yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a teenager yet, but now it has its own league, like basketball or football or soccer has leagues. Like now, roast battle, we're saying it's comedy's first competitive sport. Now it has a league. Motherfuckers, Monday.
Speaking of
Halloween.
roast battle, I was like
Comedy
doing the 2x history where I'm listening to everything at 2x speed, and the Comedy Store stemmed from the roast battle stemmed from two dudes wanting to fight.
Yep.
That's dope as fuck. Honestly.
That's still do. It's like skateboard culture because that's where I come from, right?
Yeah.
So it was like that. It felt like that to me. It was the open mics always sucked, and they still do. I mean, like they really do hold tried and true to what they really are. You don't want to be around a bunch of dudes who have egos of I'm better and funnier than you, and nobody's funny right now. Nobody in this room is funny. Nobody's ever been this funny. 3 months, fucking who knows how many years we're in.
Especially
we're
at a
all
coffee
just trying
shop.
to get on stage so we can get off stage and feel like we did something so we don't kill ourselves. That's the whole purpose, right? So anyway, knowing all this and having been through that for at that point 5 years, 3 years, yeah, I had to and then they took away an open mic night at the Comedy Store, and that's the most famous open mic, right, in Los Angeles. So everybody comes there. Everybody thinks they're funny, comes to that microphone just to fucking say 3 minutes of nothing. And hopefully that, that's going to stroke their ego to stay alive for those 2 weeks until they get back on stage to hopefully do that same mic. But Monday or Sunday they took away. So I was like, well, bet. I got to make a mic night because I don't want to lose guys like Alex Hooper, later like guys like Frank. Like, you're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose an influx of talent into that place. And that's how you build communities, right? And I was working there, so I wasn't really accessing, or I wasn't really accessible to go out to a lot of mics. There's mics I chose to go to days I was off, but days I was on, I just couldn't. I was working 12-hour days, right? So I was like, all right, well, that's the case. I'll just make a mic myself and have all my homies come through. And that's kind of what happened. And then, Josh Martin was a newer employee, and he hated everybody because he had a better paying job, and he had sacrificed that so he could work at the Comedy Store like everybody does. But Josh doesn't wear that well at the time. And then it was, Kenny Lyon, who was a legend himself. He was a brand new comic, and he's from, Hollywood, California, and he hates everybody like every Los Angelino who's from here does. They hate anybody who comes here trying to be somebody because they were all from here. Nobody asked to be born like Kenny, but he's here and he hates everybody. So that's the culture I was breeding at the Comedy Store, and I was like, yeah, y'all niggas should slap box.
But they had cameras. But there's cameras.
Yes.
I was
But
listening.
they
man.
had cameras. So I was like, they just installed these, and I just got this mic back. Y'all can't fight. Better yet, how about y'all talk shit? And it was like everybody was there. Everybody who was somebody in the open mic scene was there at that moment. So there was yeah. And then at the time, my homeboy Real Battle was like, you know what? Yeah, let these niggas talk shit to each other, and they could call each other nigga too. And that was the contribution. And I was like, and it's on. And because Rel was the biggest shit talker, we are like, all right, Rel, you be judge. And it was like, well, fuck it. We'll just let everybody judge because everybody thinks they're a big shit talker in here. But Rel just had the biggest mouth. So it was like, then we had become partners after that.
No doubt.
But it was like, yeah.
Did they ever slap box?
Nah, bro. I wanted that
They
shit
got
to
to
happen,
run that
though.
back though. You know what I'm saying? For the new one, that's the first one right there. Bring them back. But this one, they're gonna squabble up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was in my 20s when that was happening.
How old are you now? 45.
33.
Yeah, dude, I was in my 20s when that happened.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah, dude.
God, I'm almost out of my 20s.
Yeah, bro, we've known each other for a decade now. You know how crazy that is?
Frank, we have.
Insane. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, but fucking that's dope, man. And thank you for inviting me to the roast battle. Too.
My
That's
pleasure.
dope,
I didn't
man.
realize how like you mentioned it being like a pillar of comedy because, you know, it wasn't until I traveled more afterwards. Like when I went to the Bay Area, I heard a kid who was a comic, young comic, being like, "I'm going to go to the store because I have to make my trip to Mecca." Because they love roast battle so much and they love the store. So it was like a thing to like go to the store, watch the open mic, experience it, watch roast battle, and then like, you know, I mean, it was like, I don't know.
Kids have grown up.
The walk.
That's what freaks me out about it. It's like, what? Y'all grew up on me. Oh man, I'm not that old. I'm not really. I mean, then I think I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this.
I mentioned
over
you
a
to
decade,
some
so
homies,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna interview Brian Moses. Oh, fucking, and I'm just like,
Yes.
you know, fucking my buddy Nelson. He's like, I respect the dude, and I know Oni. If I fucking mention Brian Moses, he'll fucking.
He's gonna be so mad he wasn't here today.
Dude,
So
don't even tell him. Edit that out.
But I dug what you said about the like, you know, you don't like to keep going back because you could milk a, you know, an act dry. You're just like, nah, I can't keep hearing that same joke, right? It's
Yeah.
not gonna have the same misdirect for me. But the roast battle's different, and honestly, it's why I keep going every week because I hear a new joke every week because you're not gonna hear the same thing.
You know who else said that? Was Mad
Yeah.
Lib. Like one time they asked him, they're like, hey, like, what's your favorite thing to listen to? He's like, I don't listen to my old shit. Like, I make new shit. I just listen to new shit. For sure he does, you know, probably, but like that, the way he said it, like I've always kept that in the back of my mind. Like, you know, I'm on the next shit, you know? I don't watch rerun movies.
He's ultimately
you know?
a jazz musician, and like I didn't graduate from like, you know, higher education, but like when I was trying to get my degree kind of a thing. It was the thing that sparked me was like studying jazz, and I'd always, you know, I was in a jazz band in high school, you know, middle school. I was a geek.
What'd you play?
I played trombone, bro. I really did, and I loved it.
That's dope,
It was just
man.
the easiest one.
yeah.
I
So
think that's dope, man.
I
don't
fucked
play
with
no
it, and I
instruments.
fucked with brass, and I was all into that. And then just like studying what it was, it's one of the original American art forms, and so is stand-up comedy. So like a lot of comics say this, that they do correlate, and some guys will argue that they don't. Like Rogan says, like he doesn't see it, because you have to craft an act, right? And jazz is you're always improvising, right? So improv would be more like that, but improvers, you know. I feel like stand-up is more or less jazz because you can play with the audience every time. Every time you go up there, you know there's chords that are going to work, right? You know there's tricks you can use that are going to work on these people, right? You can, like, here's the most tried and true thing in comedy is somebody gets kicked in the nuts, we're all going to laugh.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
So then you go from there. That's like an E chord, right? You're like, all right, cool, everyone knows an E chord. You know what I mean? Dating sucks, right? There's your B chord right there.
No
you
doubt.
know,
Fart
so
jokes.
You just keep going right there. So you're playing off those things. So it's not so much like I listen to my old shit. You're just trying to expound upon you have to keep progressing.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about jazz, and I do love about the roast battle because there's an improv element in there. And the only people really writing are the two comics on stage, but they have no idea how that performance is going to go.
Yeah.
And they're never going to do it again.
Mm-mm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful to watch. It's like you watch these people play their own instruments. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because the magic of seeing a joke be told in front of an audience, it's never going to be told again, and then also seeing it be told and seeing the reaction in real time is like, you know what I mean? There's that disconnect or that like moment of silence of them like processing it and then them deciding whether or not it's fucking hysterical. And that big pop sometimes is louder than any regular written bit that anyone has in like a stand-up set because it's just like a different kind of laugh and a different kind of like live entertainment.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's like being a chef, you know. It's almost like if these jokes don't work, it's like, well, your food sucks. You know what I mean? And you know, you've already had that food at that restaurant, so you want to keep trying in a restaurant. You're like, oh, they're serving that pasta. I've had that pasta.
Yeah,
you know what I
literally.
mean?
Yeah.
But I'm having a new cheesecake or a new shortcake over here. I might have some fettuccine over here. Every week is different.
And then speaking on like comedy, and I wanted to tie in like I was thinking right now. There's like I was talking to my buddy and like your jokes like you walk the thin line on with your jokes, you know, like.
And that's crazy because I really don't think I do.
That's what I'm trying to get to, right?
I don't think I do.
That's what
And
I'm
we've
trying
actually
to get
had this
to.
conversation.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
a few
Are
times.
we at the peak of like thin line and like this cancel culture bullshit, or like
I mean,
is it dwindling down that like people can feel comfortable saying the jokes that one might deem like I don't care, honestly. I'm on 4chan random boards looking at the darkest shit in the world. Like anything you say is I've heard it 1,000
How old
times.
are you now?
I'm 30.
Yeah, I'm 33 year.
38.
Yeah. I mean, I feel I grew up on the internet. I was like an internet kid. Like all the older, like my older cousins were I think probably your age and shit. And you know, And they experience the internet different thing.
And then I also think like, yo, what about like the legends? You know, like, are you just gonna disregard every time they literally made every joke that we're not allowed to make anymore? Like you guys per se, right?
I think it matters on who's upset, right? Because like we've had this conversation of like,
and I just want to know like, is it still like at an all-time high that people are right there just waiting? Like, you know, you got Dave Chappelle, fucking people trying to kill him and shit, you know? Or do you think it's finally like being more accepted? Like, fuck it, you know. I guess we can't stop the war on drugs or the war on comedy, but what do you think? What's your take on that? Being a comedian, you know?
I mean, I think the people that have ever been the most mad at me is mostly like white people. It's never been like I've had like maybe a handful of black people be upset.
Just close your ears.
Hilarious. You know what I mean? I've had like a few Mexican people be disappointed in me because they feel like I'm making stereotypical jokes, which is so funny to me. But I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like race might be involved when it comes like when I've been in like North Carolina or South Carolina.
I look at it like we're humans.
Yeah.
And once you start to like identify, like you poke fun at that.
Yeah.
And that's what that's what jokes are sometimes. Is insulting and getting a reaction out of somebody and everyone laughs.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird because I mean I'm talking about my bit that I have now that I love is that mass shooting bit, which is ridiculous. You know, but I've had teachers love it, and I've had teachers.
You
hate
asked
it.
a teacher if she liked it, and she's like, and you're like, can you think of a kid that like?
Yeah.
And I think she said yes as well.
I've had
my
teachers
God!
say the names of kids,
Jesus
and it's
Christ.
hysterical. But that's also because
Crazy.
like I've talked to teachers about that real situation. You know,
I don't think there's. I think that like we were talking about off screen. I think there's people are subscribing to Patreon. You know, like there's a market for everything, and that's kind of the beauty of it. So I don't.
And
think
that's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, the motherfucker I love to hate. You know, he's still doing his thing. You know, like people love that too.
Right.
People love Republicans just as they love being a Democrat. Like there's money to be made everywhere. It's just that's not your crowd or whatever.
yeah. And sometimes people lean into certain things to make the buck, or some people don't. But you know, I think I always try to keep it towards like I just like people that are fans of comedy. And like if people don't like me in the audience, I even tell them I'm like it's fine if you don't like me because there's people that are laughing. It's like those are the people you want to focus on.
Yeah,
and
on the 100 people that support you.
Yeah, and I think after I watched Patrice O'Neal, he said something in an interview where he was like, the audience should be half the people that love you and half the people that are horrified. And it was just like, yeah, all right, that makes me feel comfortable.
Fuck yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, people should literally be up in your face saying you're a horrible comedian in the middle of or a horrible person.
I mean, I've seen it. I remember I watched a guy. Yeah. It was a drunk white guy get up on stage and apologize on your behalf or something.
Oh yeah, that was
years ago. Fucking wild.
That just happened recently. A guy just like stood up and just said, "Call me a horrible person."
Really? That's so funny.
Weird. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Here's always my thing because I'm not leaning into anything soft.
Yeah, you're just trying to be funny.
No, I'm not leaning into anything soft. I mean, like what I'm saying is I'm going after the roast battle. Like there's we're going after everybody. Like we don't segregate any kind of whatever
equal
here.
opportunity.
Yeah. So when I do my jokes, it's the same thing. So if anybody gets offended, it's usually like towards the end. It's about something they don't like. They'll laugh about like human trafficking, but they won't laugh at a pedophilia joke or something like that. And you're just like, it's almost like it's insulting. It should be insulting to you. Like I'm saying everything that's polarizing. You can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
So like then like where's your morality then? So you can't come at me if I've been up here for 15 minutes and you're going to literally get up at the end, not in the middle, the end of my set and say, well, this is awful. Like why? Because I really, really hit a nerve with you finally. Like all this other shit I said about black people or children or kids in cages or none of that shit. None of that registered with you. The Ukraine war, none of it hit you. But this thing over here, that got you. All right.
Yeah, it's a wild.
It's like amnesia,
Now I know your porn search history.
Selective,
and so does the FBI. Yeah.
Very selective of their bullshit, pretty much.
Correct. That's why I don't believe. That's why when you say it, I'm like, it's just not real. And when people are talking about it, that's what makes it real. That's what makes the whole thing with Kanye too. It's like, I think Akon said it on a podcast. It's like, well, people think his opinion matters, and that's where it got to me. I was like, what is that? What it is? We think his opinion
Is
matters?
it okay to say we like to listen to Kanye music?
That's fine. I like to listen to R. Kelly and Michael Jackson. Anybody polarizing.
I think I heard of something about like R. Kelly and Bill Cosby potentially doing another like show or something. Like Bill Cosby doing another show. I think you were talking about. Was that you?
No, it's a joke. That's not real.
No, but like, but that you would go see it.
Yeah, I would go see that. Who wouldn't go see that? Are you kidding me? The Worst of Worst Worlds tour? I would go see that.
Absolutely.
Bill Cosby and R. Kelly.
I was listening in 2X, so I might have not caught like
I was like,
but
I was like, damn, people
but
really
that
think
ties
that.
back
That's
into the
lit.
conversation that motherfuckers will go see it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of this is real.
including Brian Moses, VIP.
I mean, like, yeah, we're saying jokes now. Like, I tweeted this. Like, I've literally heard people, I've heard black dudes call Kanye a coon, and like they're literally in Yeezy fucking boots or they're in Yeezy slippers.
Still
I'm
in
like,
Yeezys?
you can't say that.
Yeah.
you can't say that wearing his products.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I
That's so
I
funny.
don't try to think too much on like what's happening outside. I don't really have an
It's-
opinion. I just like that fool's crazy, and that's it.
It's also
And
getting.
he's kind of crazy, and whatever, and that's it. And,
Yeah.
and life goes on.
I'll open up Twitter.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm like, his opinion doesn't matter. I'm like, I'm not losing my energy because.
But
my
I
God,
can't wait for his
Kanye.
new album.
I bet it's gonna be so fire. Yeah, I pre-ordered it already. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I've never danced my ass.
my
I'm sorry.
God.
Maybe that's Hitler's problem. No, can we cut this? Because he didn't have some 808s and a trap beat. I'm sorry. Springtime for Hitler doesn't smack
Oh my God.
like life after pop.
I'm out of here, bro. This is good.
Pablo's fucking hiding out in Argentina.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh, yeah, no, it's been
And that's what they're scared of, yeah. Because when you have influence, I think Joe Rogan has said this. He's like, yeah, it's like that's when they're out to get you. So it's when it's not an agenda that I think is circulating around peace. Because I mean, ultimately, like peace is a great propagating tool. I think it has to start at peace. It can't start at hate because everybody doesn't. Not everybody likes hate. I think there's more people who like peace than don't like peace, right?
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of has to start there with like the powers that be, these global powers, whatever that is. But then everybody has to remember at the end of the day when you want to talk about your conspiracy theories, life consumes life to live on this planet. So there's been an open market, an open season just on life in general since the beginning of life. So when you start your conspiracy theory, you got to start there, and then see if it's still logical. Because everybody's out to get you. It's no conspiracy against you, stupid. There's sky, there's stars, there's planets, and you're talking about there's God and universe. Then why would he be saying that there's a plan for you? It's crazy.
Yeah, there was someone made it. I can't remember. I think it might have been a science fiction writer, but he said the reason conspiracies, like all these crazy things, from the top to the bottom, all the conspiracies, the reason it's easier for people to believe in that is because it's scarier than the reality of believing that everything is chaos and there really is no purpose.
Correct.
Yeah. And
I mean, all the conspiracy.
Thank you,
theorists
religion.
dudes
You
are
create a structure. I
right
mean, ultimately.
most of the time,
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like there's certain people that couldn't some people look up at the stars and see it's beautiful and hopeful and all that stuff. Some people look at the stars and there's the idea of like, they're like, oh, this is it. And it's terrifying to them. You know what I mean?
That's nuts.
Yeah, where they're just like, oh, fuck. And they're just like, I got to believe in something. And because it's like just the idea of that, we're here and it's just magic and we should just appreciate this. Like, that's so crazy for them to grasp. And because they're just like, I got to believe in like a thing in the sky. Not that faith and all that isn't good, but it's like.
It's grounding. It's a
grounding.
magnet. It's a
Yeah,
magnet
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep you not going crazy, to be like,
100%.
I didn't ask to be here.
100%.
I got to lynch myself.
Yeah.
Can
I got to put a Kanye record on.
Can you do that? Can you lynch yourself?
People do it all the time.
I mean, no, hang yourself. But
Can I?
can you lynch yourself?
What? No, what is it?
Is
to be
lynching like a
lynched?
special like?
No, it's the same.
Does it need like?
Is it the same thing?
It's the same shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to rebrand it. I'm trying to call hanging yourself lynching yourself. So
No,
people really don't. So people stop doing it.
I just
You-
fuck.
At least black people stop doing it.
right now.
What? You don't need a mob to lynch.
You know what's fucked up? A lynch mob was like terrifying before like Ice Cube and his hip hop group. Like now it just felt kind of hard. I'm like, the lynch mob. You don't know about lynch mobs? I'm like, oh my god. And then you read about lynch mobs, you're like, oh my gosh. Ice Cube.
Speaking of Ice Cube, what's Ice Cube up to these days?
I don't
Is
have
a
his
new
number
Friday coming
anymore.
out? Wasn't there like a Friday in the works? Cause like, but then homie like doesn't do drugs anymore or something like that.
Chris Tucker.
It was like the Detox that never came out.
Right,
From Dr.
right.
Dre.
We'll get to those performances before both of them are gone.
Wait, why didn't the Detox come out?
It just never came out. I think J. Cole was even writing on that album.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's speculation everywhere. I think when I was still working at the Comedy Store, I did ask. Because Dre came in one day and he was heckling Rick Ingram. Now, Rick Ingram is now Chris Rock's opener, everybody. Look up Rick Ingram. Man's
Hilarious
a legend.
comic.
But I've never seen Rick get heckled. And I've never seen, like he was actually scared. Like Rick was like, I'm not going to come at Dr. Dre. Like, I've been in Los Angeles too long. He knows everybody. He's like, I know you guys. So I remember, and we had to kick Dre out, or we didn't really kick him out. It was just like, please, Dre, will you,
Stop yelling at
please stop
comedians?
yelling at him and please leave, and it was bad.
How was he heckling him?
It was like his girl or something like that, and he's putting on for I think I don't know who this. It might have been his wife, at the time, but they were drunk, having a good time,
And just talking shit.
yeah, and he was trying, and Rick's a good time. Rick's a party guy, and then when you open that, because he's really good. Like he's probably the best on the scene at like.
Was he
handling that.
beats drunk?
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
What was-
I don't
what
think
is
he was. No,
West Coast
no,
Compton
he was not. He was
in
he
the
was
house.
Tyrese, no.
He lost so much
What
money
happened?
that day.
What happened?
because he said he was a billion. When he dropped, it was Tyrese had dropped it.
It was Tyrese.
What happened?
But he was drunk as fuck. Tyrese like leaked the video of him and
The
Dr.
night that
Dre.
they
the night
announced.
that they did the contract that wasn't even solidified yet from the looks of it, and they like lost X amount of money because of that. Like
Yeah, which is crazy, by the way. Like, you guys lost money for celebrating? That's crazy.
that
actually.
sucks, man. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's like a penalty in
Right.
football. Like, hey, yellow flag, homie. We haven't even.
Yeah,
you haven't
right. Oh, you think you had? Because now the value's gone now. Because now
Yeah.
they know.
Yep.
Right. Good call. Again, it's open season. They're not out to get you. They just want to win. They just want to eat you. Everything wants to eat you. If you go from that perspective, you'll be fine.
That's fucking gnarly. That's too woke for some people, honestly.
Is that?
There's a lot of stoners that are watching this right now, and
Yeah.
they're like, "What the fuck is he talking?"
And there's like
yeah, try to eat you, player.
there's like 10 guys that are like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah, dude, they're trying to eat you, player.
These minorities are trying to eat us.
Oh, you gotta eat first. You gotta eat them first. Everybody's food.
If you ain't first, you last, brother. Get in there.
Oh my
That's
god.
why humanity matters. Like, you don't need that mentality. I'm just saying, if you're coming from that mentality, be like, you know what? We need to reverse this and just have a conversation and smoke a J and just chill out. If you want to come from that perspective, that's great. I'm just saying that the powers that be are looking from that. I'm gonna eat you.
They don't
end.
have your best interest.
Listen, guys, they've actually pulled these tapes. I don't know how they did it, but we're not even doing a podcast anymore.
Otis is dead. He's
Oh man.
Oh, you're deep state right now.
Oh, what? Just so I know, what time are we at?
We are at right around 30 minutes.
Perfect.
Yep. And then once we wrap up, I want to redo the intro. Just
Oh, okay.
in case that when it crashed, we lost anything.
All right, solid.
That was just like the first 2 minutes of the intro.
All right, it's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Action.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna leave that in, right?
Yeah, leave it in. That's how we like to do it.
I'm terrible when it comes to editing. No,
He's
I
the
do it.
worst.
I wish you would have met Clutch. Clutch was really, really fucking sick. He's his
He's
friend.
got a great name. I mean,
He'll meet him eventually.
clearly.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
leave it at that. He'll meet him.
Oh my
eventually.
god. He's
We'll
just-
take him to the store.
and probably in
or
like the
something.
most opportune time, like when I really need him, like a real
Yeah.
clutch moment.
When's a good time that you need?
You need Clutch when you're like, oh, if only there was someone that had a bunch of dandruff on their shoulders. And then you're just like, oh, thank God Clutch is here. Or if you're like, man, I wish a guy that smelled like a bag of Doritos was here to, like, ask me really ridiculous questions.
Yeah,
that's what it's like hanging out.
It's
with
crazy you
bag
say
of
that
Doritos.
because I called him earlier, and guys, Clutch is here right now. He's not here.
Oh my
That would
God.
be great. Though,
So you
if he
said
was
you're
here.
doing you did a comedy album with Mad Lib.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Is this the first like?
No, I've said it before, but nobody believes it. But people have heard it now.
That's dope, man. I
Yeah.
love Mad Lib. I love I listen to.
If you like music, I think you should like Mad
I
Lib.
like-
I think
I
any
like
stoner.
yesterday's new quintet. I like the Beat Conductor shit. I like his shit with J Dilla, J Lib.
Yeah.
I like Mad Lib. I've seen him do a set live when he did a performance with Freddie, and he stayed after and did like an hour set at the Echoplex.
Damn.
Yeah, I was sitting,
old school. Oh,
yeah.
whoa.
I fucking, you know, I remember listening to Madville in high school, and dudes weren't hip yet. And
Bro, did that not blow your mind when you first heard it? It blew my mind.
It blew my fucking mind for
I'm
sure.
8 years older. I'm like, I didn't get to hear it till, I mean, man, I heard Madville in probably 4 years after it's made. I think it's like 2008, maybe 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, no. Like right in that. No, I take it back. Like 2 or 3 years after. It got me into stand up actually.
Meeting you is what definitely got me into better music.
Yeah. It just makes you. It makes you a more grounded person. Makes you a better writer.
Would you say you're like a hip hop head?
I hate to say it. I mean, I try to be just a music head, but yeah, I lean more towards
Like, who are your 5 top rappers?
Man, I got this question yesterday actually.
Do you like Kool Keith?
I like Rakim.
I like
Kool Keith's demeanor.
But Kool Keith, like, we're saying apples and oranges, you know? Like,
Word.
Kool Keith is like, I think Kool Keith's the best rapper ever in the world. Like, that's how I come at it. Because, like, if you listen to his stuff, he's, like, multi-dimensional. Like, he could fake the funk and be, like, some B-boy rapper, but he's not that. He's a nerdy dude from the hood.
Right. He really is. Yeah.
Who knows dudes that do shit like that, but he never like rapped about it, you know?
Well,
he
kind of
played
with
the part.
Dr. Octagon. I mean, like that was like a real hell of a collaboration.
Like I'm talking Sex Style, Ultramagnetic MCs, and fucking, you know, the whole 9. Like I've seen him live. Kool Keith nowadays. Have you seen like how he like?
No.
He's like, it's almost like we didn't give our roses to the dudes that need them.
Good.
And it's sad, you know.
Real? Oh, it's not good.
No, because it's like it doesn't look too good, you know.
That
like
sucks.
like you know, rappers, they're kind of Hollywood. You know, you don't get to go just talk to a rapper, hang out with a rapper. Yeah, maybe a backpacker. You know, dude pulls up in his Altima, he's a rapper.
Right.
That's kind of the vibe I got, and I'm just like, Kool Keith. You know, like it hurts my stomach, you know.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, he should be like, I'm not talking.
And I don't know if that's like a financial like thing on his end, or like the
That's
the
just
game's
how he likes
fucked up. He signed the wrong deals, but or maybe he's well off, and
That's what I'm saying.
maybe
I
he's
think
well
it's the other way
off,
around. Yeah,
and he just loves to chill and do shows in the fucking dingiest places in the world where people pay $10 a ticket.
That's
and
cool.
There's only 100 fucking
Yeah.
people. I don't know, but I got good intuition, you know. And from the outside looking in, like me too, I pull up in a Kia Soul, you know, but they don't know I got like, I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah. We know you're a millionaire with Dr. Masonic. We know.
but Kool Keith, like I got the vibe. I'm like, you know, like what the fuck, you know, like what's happening here? Like, did he not?
I mean, he's got a fan base still. I mean, he's still got that college scene. I think. You know,
Yeah.
we're clearly talking about him.
I mean,
I remember.
didn't
people
DreamWorks have
talking
him at
about
one fucking point or something like that? Like,
Yeah, I never heard that.
yeah, I think Dr. Octagon dropped on DreamWorks, which is like fucking Shrek. You know,
Right.
That's not nothing small right there.
Right.
Yeah. And then now it's like,
Oh man,
Right.
he got Shrek money. Come on.
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
he's
You
got
know.
Shrek money. You think?
Did you ever hear the story about the guy who sang in Lion King?
Well, you got to tell me about that.
So it was one of the guys who sang on Lion King. I think it was the Simba, the actual guy. They were saying that they were going to buy him out for like $250,000. Disney was. This was before the movie even came out or anything.
Just buy him out of the contract. I mean, like buy him. I was like, buy him out. Like,
No,
what do you
like
mean,
buy him out. Like basically just be like, this is all you get,
Yeah.
right? And everyone was so excited. Then his mom was like, well, how much if he gets royalties on it? Like if they're just willing to. And then they negotiated for it, and it was like a much smaller number. But because of that, he's been making money ever since the fucking movies come out. So he's made more money over time than just taking the $250 up front.
With
Like
Lion
Bobby
King.
Bonilla, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he gets paid it's like a Bobby Bonilla day. He gets paid like $1 million or something.
Who's Bob Bonilla?
So he played for the Mets, and like because they just signed this like long ass contract. Look this thing up. It's like like a 20-year contract, and like every year he like on a certain day, like they even celebrate it now because it's so ridiculous. But the guy makes like $1 million like a year, like on a certain day from the Mets. And he hasn't played in like 20 years.
Wait, what happened?
He got
They
some
just-
pork barrel on a contract.
They just spread it out like
That's
that.
hysterical.
He played. He got paid. Like they were like, oh, this is the highest contract. And I was like, yeah, because like they spread that thing out. Like the guy's like, he's like 50 something.
Oh, and he retired like years
Yeah,
ago?
he's like Barry Bonds' age. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Bobby
Did they just
Bonilla
not
Day.
read the contract, or they were like, he's going to be playing forever?
Yeah, It's awesome. No.
That's a good contract.
That's a
It's
great contract.
It's
I'm
really
gonna-
funny.
I need one of those.
Yeah.
What's his name? Bobby
Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, it was him and Bonds in Pittsburgh like for a little bit. Then Bonds goes to San Francisco, and then Bobby gets a big contract with the New York Mets.
You're a baseball fan?
No, but this was like a big thing.
All right.
Yeah, I like odd like sports stories, like the
Snapple facts.
yeah, like
Correct. Yeah, the Mets, Bobby Bonilla. Yeah, the Mets. Bobby Bonilla, like $1.1 million. I'm sorry, yeah, $1.1 million every July 1st through 2035.
That's fucking.
As part of their agreement with New York, released Bonilla following the 1999 season. So they had to pay him because they released him in 1999. 1.19 until he's 72 years old.
Nice. He's got it made.
That's the greatest contract in history. I get $1 million from a team I haven't played for. I mean, like the guys, 2035. He'll be 72 then. Damn, that's like 10 years from now.
I love odd
He's in the 60s.
sports stories like that. There's another one. I don't know if you've heard. It was the Red Sox jersey that was buried in Yankee Stadium when they were making it. Have you heard of this? So there was a rumor going around that there was what I just said. A jersey buried at the stadium, and they finally were like, all right, we got to check, and they went and checked, and apparently that's what happened. Was the fan from the other team was helping build, just happened to be concerned, and like went and buried a jersey as like bad luck, right? And then they fucking had to unearth it, and then they auctioned it off for charity. But they said that after that happened, their luck changed and stuff. Not like that they were unlucky, but everyone attributes to the better seasons to getting rid of the
better
jersey.
energy. Yeah, they all have better energy. Like, this is like if you put good energy into something. Like if you notice Los Angeles right now, how crazy the energy is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the speaking of energy and burying shit, or better yet, in this case, demolishing, like taking off the houses where the Dodger Stadium was built. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good energy right there. That's why they're always hitting those homers, baby. Let's go.
Get those Mexicans. You gotta say Mexicans.
Yeah.
Get those
Mexicans
out of here.
The Displacers.
Is that
So someone made a Dodgers shirts, and it's instead of Dodgers, it's the Displacers.
Nice.
And it's the exact same logo and stuff. But
what's your favorite baseball team?
The Dodgers. Fernando
watch
Valenzuela, turned it all around.
Yeah, they had that whole doc. Yeah,
everyone was like, "All right, we forgive him," and all those families are like, "No, we don't."
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's their Jeffrey Dahmer documentary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of eating people, we're back, stoners. We eat people.
Did you ever see that documentary? I think it was called it's In Plain Sight. I think is one. It was about the Mexican guy who went to the Dodgers game.
Oh, yeah. And he like went to jail or some shit?
Because a girl got murdered a few blocks away, and they were like, you fit the description, so they fucking pulled him over. He went to jail. They were going to put him away, and they had to like comb through all the like footage and stuff, and there was like, is there anything that you
I was at the Dodger game.
they were like, is there anything you do that could prove you weren't there? And then he was like, yeah, they were filming something, and it was fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm, an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, this is recent?
This was like
it was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
That's
This is
recent.
like 7
I
years
thought
ago.
we were talking about like
No, 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 no.
1980.
So like, it's a crazy doc, and like my dad watched it and cried and shit because he was like, this fucking could have happened to me. But yeah, so like they ended up contacted Larry David. It's so funny because Larry David is in the doc. He's just like, and they were filming an episode, and the guy, one of the editors, had to go through all the footage, and then they found
this
it.
man's
they
life?
fucking found the shot.
Shout out Curb.
Yeah, and then they like played it in court, and and it was like the timestamp and everything, and there was still like one thing.
Did they find the actual person who touched this woman? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
But it wasn't this guy,
That
thank
got
God.
unsolved. No.
Yeah. They're like, I'm sorry, we thought we had him. Like, you
Yeah,
can't just point the nearest Mexican and grab him, you guys. This is what gets it. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
They
shitty,
could be
man.
walking through a curb shoot, and then we can't use it.
Man. Good luck
Do
finding
your
another-
jobs better so we don't have to do it again.
That's why you gotta
They're
look
like, don't we teach you anything?
There's only a
Yeah,
few
you told
dudes that look like Gallagher, so I think I'm good.
I think you're fine. Yeah. You have a distinct look. You're
Yeah.
good, actually. Yeah, you're not, unless you do it.
Yeah. No, I'm not. Nah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're smashing
It's either
skulls like
Gallagher or
Gallagher.
Smash
Shit.
this.
Yeah. Smashing skulls like Gallagher.
Dodger games, man. One time I won one of the raffles that they do when they randomly pick a seat, and that's fucking lucky, you know.
What'd you get?
I had my I was with my brother. I was like in 5th grade or some shit, and we went with my brother's my brother's friend's older sister. She's the one that drove us there, and she's all like, "Oh, I should go because if you go, you're a kid, and they'll give you like a price that's less of the value if an adult would go." Nice. And I was like, "Whatever." And she went, and they got me like a big Bath and Body Works gift basket, and I just gave it to my mom.
Oh, that's dope though.
Yeah, it was neat because I came back, "Mom, I got you this basket."
Yeah,
I got you.
That's so funny.
Like a cool kid. I was gonna say, I was just like, I don't care. They're just like, yeah, look at what we got too. Like this is a good investment.
Yeah. Mom was happy.
Me and my dad took me to Dodger
Happy
game.
Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day. When is
Happy
that coming
Mother's
up?
Day.
When is this coming out?
When's Mother's Day coming? It's a couple weeks. Was it?
It's like when is Mother's Day, Otis?
Oh, fuck.
We're the worst kids in the world, Mom. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I love your Jamie Vernon's Otis.
It's because
Sunday,
Mother's
May
Day is
14th.
every day.
May 14th.
Yeah, we're far away from Mother's Day.
Oh, I think I fucked up.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be like a 420 special before Mother's Day.
Hilarious. My Dodger store was, my dad took me to go see Dodgers when I was like a kid. Like I was like
It's like a mandate for you guys, right?
Yeah. I was like a toddler. And we were in the
They christen you there.
yeah, it is such
Oh yeah.
It bugs me that they get upset that so did you see people like canceled the Doyer shirts? And I thought that was so stupid.
They canceled the
They canceled the Doyer shirts.
That's the stupidest shit ever, bro.
Only people in LA should be able to do that because that's such an LA Latino community thing.
Yeah, and it blew my mind. Anyways, but so my dad took me to a game when I was like a toddler.
Community did that.
The fuck, the Latinxers.
Those X-Men.
Yeah.
Y. Hombre.
I fell off a bleacher and I like cracked my nose, and they had to take
You
us.
got a nose job?
Yeah,
It looks
I was
good,
a kid.
dude.
Thank you.
It really does.
I was like a toddler, so when they had to take me to like the on-site hospital in Dodger Stadium, which is below everything, right? Because it's kind of near the lockers and shit. So they fixed me. They
really
X-rayed me.
gentrified the fuck out of that neighborhood when they got rid of those Mexicans. There's a hospital there?
They X-rayed me to make sure I was fine, and I was like, it was just a little mark that was fine. And then they were like, all right, you could go up the elevator and then go back to your seats.
And you're honorary Dodger now.
Hilarious. So my dad gets up. We go up the elevator and we get out, and he turns around and we're right behind home base.
Oh wow.
And there's like empty seats, and the security guards are like up above and stuff. And he was just kind of like, he like looked at me and like looked at him and was just like,
and he dropped you again.
Yeah, he was
further.
like fucking threw me hard. And we just sat and watched the game. He was like, I'm not going back to my fucking seat. What are you kidding me?
That's pretty great. What a great father.
Yeah. So now every time we went to Dodger games, he just fucking throw me down the
Dodger
stairs.
Stadium is such a magical place.
For Mexicans, yeah. Your fucking laugh gets me every time.
It's like a squeegee.
Yeah, dude, it was. Oh god.
Oh,
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a Remember the Alamo in reverse because they celebrate the place. Remember the Alamo, man. Fuck the Alamo. And the LA Mexicans are like, nah, it's cool. They gave us a bridge.
Yeah.
The 6th Street Bridge to Boyle Heights.
It really
I know
is
what
this
you
thing,
mean.
yeah,
That's
they
my
really-
guy.
It really is this. It's just
They had
the
to
bridge.
shut that shit down. They were going too crazy up there.
Dude.
I asked my wife if we could go up there finally. She's like, no. I'm like,
Bro, it's crazy. It's like it's $1 billion bridge in like in the what a very
block
low
party.
income neighborhood.
Bro,
It's a
dude,
block
it
party.
is so funny because they opened it and dude, we drove down once and I could already see the fucking burnout marks and all this shit, and I was like, bro, they can't give us nothing nice.
Yeah, I mean like East Oakland over there. I'm like, there's sideshows. What y'all getting hypey over here?
Bro. Speaking of sideshows, I live on the street in Compton on Santa Fe where they do it.
Oh what?
So I'll hear it and I'll walk out in my fucking sandals, some flip flops, and just like oh, what's happening over here? And I just that's fun, and then I'll go back inside and leave them alone.
You're the best kind of neighbor. Like
Yeah,
honestly, man.
no complaining here. You
Yeah.
guys don't hurt yourselves.
Like if you're impressed, you're like, that's impressive. I'm gonna go back in. That's sweet. That's the best kind of like. It's like get off my lawn. It's like, oh, do that on my lawn.
No. But yeah, I live like 30 seconds away from where they do that at.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My favorite videos are the people getting fucking hit when they do the
Oh my god, they're like, Bob, woo, he's out.
Because it's never hard enough to like
Home run.
kill anybody, but it is definitely hard enough to launch somebody, and you see them just get full airborne and they just fucking shatter a hit.
I like crackhead videos. I got reintroduced to him through Freddie Gibb's Instagram, and because I thought I was one of those people who thought crack just wasn't a thing anymore. Because I heard like Amy Winehouse had done it and Russell Brand had done it, so I was like, okay, it's like a London thing, right?
Crackheads are out there still.
Bro, it's like coming back, or like I was told it never left.
They're nice, by the way.
They're great.
Crackheads compared to meth heads are like way
This is
better.
none of my jokes, but what's happening here? I'm like, have I put this online? All right.
Every time he's trying to say something. I am the worst fucking host ever.
No, it's great.
This is my show.
No, it's very Byron Allen, but like Cheech and Chong.
I'm sorry about that.
You were talking about crack and meth, though. I was like, you set me up for a joke?
Oh man.
Am I telling these people my act?
But yeah. So there's a crackhead and she's like, oh, I know it's a crackhead. No one sits on the bus stop at 4:00 in the morning. With another crackhead, and they just sit there.
Just being
sitting there,
crackheads together.
just watching nobody. They're just sitting there, and I'm pumping my gas because I'm on my way up north.
Wow.
And
I mean, solid flex.
And it's super early. And she comes up to me, and she's like, you have $1? I'm like, of course I have $1. I didn't have a fucking dollar. I felt like an idiot. But Clutch, thank God, God sent me this angel, and he was buying Newports, and he had them in his
Guy's name is
hand.
Clutch.
He had them in his hand. One Newport is worth $1 nowadays, so he gave her $2, 2 Newports, and she was happy. And she wasn't mad when I didn't say no to the $1. She was just like, oh, that's fine. But then Clutch came through.
Is Clutch a real person? I just feel like this is this imaginary person who comes in the most opportune times in history, and you're just calling him Clutch.
No, his
or
name's
them
Clutch, yeah.
or her Clutch. I don't know what the pronouns are.
Oh God,
What does he identify as?
I mean, Clutch, hilarious.
What does he identify as?
That's
best quote I've ever heard in my
That's
life.
the day and age.
Clutch looks like if they made like a hippie Lego character. You know what I mean? Like just a dirty Lego character.
He looks
like a pig pen. Like you ever see Pigpen on the Peanuts?
Yeah. What do you think Clutch looks like?
Clutch, just an ugly motherfucker. I don't know. Big.
Like a Neanderthal.
He looks pretty Neanderthal.
He doesn't look Clutch.
He looks pretty Neanderthal-y, yeah.
Okay.
He looks kind of like.
But he's
got
definitely-
the
brow.
Head, like on the back right here, kind of goes like that. He's gonna love this. He's like big ass head, big old meat, pig head. He's an ugly motherfucker.
What was that like driving with him for fucking?
He's
36
the worst
hours.
co-pilot in the
Really?
world, dude. I'm driving going 100 miles per hour.
Whoa.
And I hand him the charger to plug it because I don't want to fucking do that while we're speeding. And he's like, plug it. Like he gives it back to me
Why?
because he's Clutch.
Thank you, Doc.
And then I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't like cigarette smoke. This shit gives me a migraine. I used to smoke cigarettes, so it's like I don't like
So
it.
you
My
need-
body rejects it, And he smokes cigarettes, so he's
A
all like,
lot.
He's like, Big Mase, I'm gonna need to smoke a cigarette. This is a long trip, and I'm just like, you motherfucker. And he cracks his fucking window, and he's right there. Don't worry, I got this. It's not gonna go on your side. And he's like, fucking blowing it out and doing all this dumb shit. The worst fucking road trip buddy. For
Oh my
sure.
God! What were you telling me about you guys? So you guys were crashed in your boy's cabin in the living room,
So yeah.
and then what did Clutch do? Homeboy starts moving around.
Oh, homeboy made like a noise, like he said, hey, like he moved and he said, Clutch something, and Clutch just told Brandon, shut the fuck up.
Exactly like a sleepover in high school.
It was pretty funny. That guy's hilarious.
Yeah. So
And
they went up north to learn about what was it, hash washing?
We learned
and-
how to make hash from the dude that's won the most hash awards in fucking the world. It feels like the dude
Big
that
dog.
you ever smoke Skittles?
Yes.
The dude that invented Skittles.
Yes.
So I went to go hang out with him
Okay.
and hang out in his cabin for 3 nights in a row.
He's got a cabin.
He's got a cabin on a farm in the woods.
I love this man.
And I just went to go hang out with him for 3 fucking
Cabin
days.
on the Farm in the Woods sounds like a horror movie.
And I went to go see all the Skittles, hybrids, fucking smoke hash with him, and we did it for 3 days straight. Day 1, we just kind of kicked it. Day 2, we had the hash class, and then day 3, we had the breeding class. and I'm like a breeder. Some might call me a breeder. I don't take it too serious. I'm just make seeds and grow weed. I'm good at what I do, but I wouldn't identify as like I'm a breeder. Like, motherfucker, I didn't go to college. I don't read this shit.
But I mean,
you're just
smoke weed.
pro-choice. Yeah. It's all good.
But yeah, we went to
You
go
don't
hang out
abort
with the
those
Z-Man
seeds.
for 3 days straight, and it was a blast, man. I fucking had fun. It was, I've never been that cold. It was, I've only been cold like that one time in my life is when I went to Portland, Maine, and those fuckers put me on an inflatable mattress with like the flimsiest cover in the world, and they had the house like at 69 or some shit, and it was the wintertime, and I'm a Cali boy. I like it a little warmer, you know, and I was just freezing all night, and that was my first night being that cold. And then this night, for whatever reason, Brandon likes to sleep with the window open. And in the hills, on the mountain, it's 30 degrees outside with the window open. And all I have is sleeping on the floor with a sleeping bag that doesn't zip up. First night. So safe to say I didn't sleep much the first night. I didn't have a pillow either.
You didn't clutch?
No, I didn't back to back, none of that shit, you know. I just fucking toughed it out, and that was the first night. And then the first night, like, I'm sleeping, and any little movement, the fucking air draft will come in. And then you're just fucking awake again. Because it's 30 degrees. And then the second night, I bought a sleeping bag.
You went you're like, I gotta fucking.
And but Clutch
Wised up.
stole all the pillows. And I'm like, dude, I bought your sleeping bag. You're the only reason. The only reason you're on this trip is because of me. Like, why do you get a fucking pillow? But I'm like, whatever, have your pillow. But then the third night, I didn't sleep much the second night. So the third night, I was like, hey, I need that pillow. And I slept, and I was able to come home.
It smell like Newports?
Man, I'm probably got like fucking neck rash or something.
I fucking love
I gotta go get checked for STDs just sleeping on that pillow, bro.
Oh
That
my
boy is
God.
nasty.
Oh, monkeypox.
You guys have monkeypox on his neck for sure. That I don't know what else that thing could be.
Yeah, I first noticed that when I was looking at the back of his neck.
Bro, I think he's just never washed his neck.
It was probably one of those fake ass green chains, the chains that make your shit green.
He looks
you know?
like his front.
He needs
like,
to exfoliate, bro.
That's probably shit from his ass going all the way back up to his neck.
Wow.
the difference
Because his
between
mom hasn't wiped his ass.
the difference between
Is that scientifically possible?
could be.
I gotta
believe
see
it.
this happen. Clutch, if you can make that happen, don't wash or wipe your ass for a solid 8 weeks, my brother. I want to see
man.
if this works.
So that means
This is a science project, and this is for science.
He's only gonna
Trust
have
the
to wait 2
science.
more weeks then. To fucking-
So, yeah, I'm already halfway up my back.
Man, well,
what are we at?
42.
Yep, we are 51.
Perfect,
Nice.
sweet. Is there any questions you want to ask before we start to get out of here?
No, man. Thanks for fucking coming on here, man. I appreciate you sliding through. I thanks for letting me dig in your brain. And sorry, I might have spewed on a little bit. But
Nah, you're
I'm just excited.
You're
you know?
fucking cool, man.
I'm excited.
You're the doctor. I'm with the doctor.
I'm excited. G.
Yeah, come to Roast Battle on Monday. Frank's gonna be judging. You know, he's the hometown kid, man. Without Frank, I don't think Roast Battle in the culture grows. You know, he's outside of you see Mike Lawrence in season 1 win, and then you see a guy who gets picked dead last. You know, his mom's even so excited. You know, and Frank was having a hard time, but just like wrapping his brain, psychologically around, should I be doing this or not? And fuck these guys, and why wouldn't they pick me? And we're all trying to, keep whatever little bit of show business we had going, at that time. And then Frank gets picked, and he I want to say season 2 is probably our highest rated season, and Frank's probably our best story, and probably the best story to come out of the Comedy Store last decade, and that's saying a lot. So. Monday, we have a new chapter of Roast Battle. It's called the Roast Battle League. We have 12 of the best roast battlers from around the world. Guys from London, Chicago, New York, Austin, Texas, the Bay Area, where Frank's from, Los Angeles. And, we'll be doing that until July, and we'll be having Battle Mania. But the first one's Halloween night at the Comedy Store.
Hell yeah, man. If you're in LA, and even if you're not in LA, fly out, motherfuckers. Make a trip to Fairfax. Make a trip to the Comedy Store. And make sure you guys are tuned into the Patreon for exclusive content, and MasonicSeeds.co for the best, most valuable beans in the world.
And you can actually watch it online, right?
Yeah. But, go to Instagram at Roast Battle. We'll get you the link.
Perfect.
What's your Instagram handle?
I'm Brian Moses forever.
Brian Moses forever, guys. And thank you, man. I appreciate it. We
Love
got somebody besides a fucking weed person on here. I love it.
Mom, don't watch this.